Welcome to the Glynn Academy Coaches Show with head coach Rocky Hidalgo. Brought to you by Coastal Appliances, Island Automotive, Somerset Mortgage, The Emerald Princess, Bruce Kennedy Tire, Apple Care and Media Care, Misty's Element Massage, Jenkins Nissan, and by Loco's Grill and Pub. Now here's the voice of the Glynn Academy Red Terrors, Kevin Price.
Welcome to the Glynn Academy Coaches Show with head coach Rocky Hidalgo on the Bishop Media Sports Network. I'm Kevin Price, on location at Loco's Grill and Pub. We are here each and every Sunday at 6:30 p.m. for the entire season. This segment of the Rocky Hidalgo Show is sponsored by Island Automotive, Coastal Appliances, The Emerald Princess, Somerset Mortgage, Bruce Kennedy Tire, Apple Care, Media Care, Misty's Element Massage, Jenkins Nissan, and, of course, Loco's. Now with us, the head coach of the Glynn Academy Red Terrors, Coach Rocky Hidalgo. And just in case anyone missed it, the Red Terrors went to Hinesville Friday night and spoiled homecoming for Bradwell Institute. The Red Terrors won 37-6, improved their overall record to 4-2, and the Red Terrors go to 3-1 in Region 3-5A. And, Coach, before we even get to what happened on the field, I don't know about you, but I'm tired of it each and every Friday night raining and kind of possibly ruining things or making us worry about things. But the rain cleared out, and the field seemed to hold up fine, so really the weather ended up being a non-factor.
Yeah, it delayed the start of the game about 10, 15 minutes. But, I generally don't really get into the weather. I don't really worry about it. I don't check on it. I just kind of show up. If it's raining, we'll move on and play whatever's out there. There's not much you can do about it.
No, that's exactly right. Well, Coach, let's talk about the game itself. You get off to a fast start. Bradwell fumbles the football in the first offensive series. The Red Terrors get the ball at their 30, and 3 plays later, Glynn Academy's in the end zone on a Garrison Hurd touchdown run. So pretty fast start. It looked like it was going to be a cakewalk the way the thing started. Yeah,
it was good. We will always want to turn. It's great to start with a turnover and flip the field like that. And we're very fortunate to go out there and get one early and get an easy score out of it.
And just talk about, of course, that was the only score as it turned out in the first half. You go into halftime with a 7-0 lead, and quite frankly, I thought the whole game would be about like the third quarter was, but that was just my opinion. But what happened in the rest of the half? The offense was a little bit out of sync, and, of course, Bradwell's defense did come up with some plays.
Well, again, we had a couple of penalties there that killed some drives. We had a big 4th and 2 that we just blew a blocking assignment there. And we had a couple things, mental errors on the part of some of the kids where we made some mistakes. We had some guys that allowed their defenders to kind of chip them downfield, knock them off some routes, and we've got to do a better job of that. Our kids are still learning for those things. We had some opportunities there for some big plays. A couple of times on some of the screens that we ran. Missed a block here or there, or, we had overthrow things, and it's still things that we're trying to chip away at and improve on.
And just talk about just things in general. It looked like the short passes were there most of the night. Bradwell did start doing a better job on the shorter passes to keeping y'all's yardage to minimal gains there for a while. But what was y'all's offensive game plan going in? To me, it did look like those short passes were definitely there all night for the taking.
Yeah, we always want to take kind of the gifts when we go out there, whether it's in the running game or passing game. A lot of what we do is based on numbers. We kind of want to read the box. If there's 5 guys in the box, we run the ball. If there's more than that, we'll throw it on the outside and try to get it on the perimeter. One of the things that we have to do is we have to get the ball on the perimeter and be more effective out there. And a lot of that is just the transition out there is catching the football, and we've got to do a better job blocking out there. But, one of the things we always want to do, we want to get out and run the football. We want to have 3 or 4 guys run the football for us. I think we had 4 or 5 actually Friday, take the ball and carry it. And that was something that it was good to see us get some big plays in the running game.
This is the Glynn Academy Coaches Show with head coach Rocky Hidalgo on the Bishop Media Sports Network. And, Coach, we'll talk about some more of the offense here in a moment. But halftime, you're only up 7-0. And, again, I thought the game might have gone like the third quarter went from the start. What was your message at halftime? For the second week in a row, you were in a low-scoring tight game at the half.
We just told the kids go out and have fun. I mean, it really is. That's what it's about. We need to have confidence in what we do and how we do things, and the kids need to have confidence in themselves. Our coaches believe in them, and we're learning about it. We're learning that they can they're learning that they can win these games and they can compete. And I think we went in at halftime and just said, keep doing what we're doing. Let's go out and have fun, enjoy yourself, and somebody make something happen. And that's kind of what we did.
Well, definitely the third quarter was a lot of fun. You come out, take the opening kick, I think go 75 yards in about 12 plays. And at that point, offensively or all around, I thought that y'all probably had the game in control because Bradwell was only averaging 7.5 points a game. So even down two scores, you definitely had the game in control. But you score, I think, on 4 straight possessions in the third quarter, 3 touchdowns in a row, and then get a field goal as well. So you definitely took charge there at the start of the third quarter. Took advantage of a couple of turnovers by them as well.
Well, it was good to see us. Defensively, I felt like we created turnovers, and that's something that we're learning to play fast on defense. I think our tackling was better. We were more physical. When you're more physical, when your tackling's better, when you play faster, you create turnovers. And I think we saw that Friday night. Offensively, I think we did a lot of good things on the offensive line and running the football. We created a lot of seams, but we've got to continue to go out there and down the field. I think that's something that we can improve on, our perimeter blocking and blocking down the field to take a 20-yard gain and go and stick it in the end zone. And
you led me right into my next question. There were some big gaping holes there in that third quarter as you started to dominate and assert yourself offensively, but the guys had a lot of run room in that third quarter. Yeah, we preached to them about finishing plays. And that was our offensive line. We were blocking guys, but I don't think we were finishing plays. We started to finish the plays in the third quarter, and I think you saw the result of that was we were a lot more productive offensively. And then defensively, you really just dominated them pretty much the whole night long. I think they came into the game averaging 162 yards, and they finished, I believe, with 176. So you held them right around their average. But you could tell early in the game that your defensive front was going to be dominant versus their offensive front. Yeah, we played a lot of kids. I mean, in the third quarter, I mean, we started subbing a lot of guys in the third quarter for us, and we got a lot of young kids an opportunity to play. And that's one of the great things when you get up on someone is you get people an opportunity to go out there and you gain some experience. And I think in the game we played 6 guys who are kind of in our 2 deep or kind of backups for us who got a chance on the defensive line to get in there and play. We played 6 different linebackers throughout the night, 4 corners and 4 safeties. So I think that's something that we can't overlook the advantage that we had and the experience that we gained. Now, of course, Bradwell had only thrown the ball, I think, like 9 times all year coming into the game, and so there was no mystery about what they were going to do. And y'all had pretty much everybody except for maybe 2 deep safeties most of the time right there within, I guess, about 5 yards of the line of scrimmage. I guess you were just daring them to throw if they wanted to, but y'all were definitely going to be aggressive against the run, no doubt. Yeah, because of what they run, that allowed us to do those things. They kind of pack it in there offensively, and so it allows us to kind of fit in there. And we did a really nice job of setting the edge and leveraging the offense and finishing on plays, fit and finish. I'll talk about that a bunch. We did a good job of fitting and finishing on Friday night. Well, there's more to come here on the Coach Rocky Hidalgo Show on the Bishop Media Sports Network. Right now, these words from our sponsors.
For all of your automotive repair needs, visit Island Automotive, 1950 Demery Road, across from the fire station on St. Simon's Island. They're a family-owned and operated business that has been delivering great service not only to St. Simon's, but to all of Southeast Georgia for over 25 years. Your complete auto repair and auto detailing facility. Online at islandautomotivecenter.com or at 912-638-0888. And go Terrors! Coastal Appliances is your one-stop shop for Whirlpool washers and dryers, Whirlpool refrigerators, and so much more. Coastal Appliances offers free delivery and service after installation and have also been in business for over 30 years. 4727 Altama, next to Sonic, and on the web at appliancesbrunswickga.com or give them a call at 912-267-0132. Coastal Appliances, Glynn County's only specialty appliance store.
Hop aboard for Texas Hold'em tournaments, roulette, poker, lots of slot action, food, music, and more. Labor Day weekend, Sunday, August 31st, 7 p.m. Cruises depart from Brunswick, Georgia. Call 800-842-0115 or visit EmeraldPrincessCasino.com. Must be 18 years of age and present a government-issued photo ID to board.
I'm Jenkins Nissan.
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 I am Jenkins Nissan.
I'm Donnie Jenkins. We're all Jenkins Nissan, and together we want to show you just how easy buying and servicing your car should be. So please, stop by and experience the Jenkins Nissan difference. Look for the red and white Nissan tent at the corner of Chapel Crossing Road and the Spur, or visit us online at jenkinsnissanofbrunswick.com.
Welcome back to the Glynn Academy Coaches Show with head coach Rocky Hidalgo on the Bishop Media Sports Network. I'm Kevin Price. We're on location at Loco's Grill and Pub on St. Simons. This segment brought to you by Island Automotive, Coastal Appliances, Jenkins Nissan, and the Emerald Princess. And, of course, Coach, you take on Ware County this week, and we'll talk about that here in a moment in this segment, but a little bit more on the Bradwell game Friday night. Of course, the Red Terrors were 37-6 winners up in Hinesville, and I don't know how bad you wanted it, but I know the kids probably wanted it, but you held the shutout intact till about 4 minutes, I think, to go in the fourth period, and obviously you were playing with your second and maybe even your third strings at that point, and they almost did it, but Bradwell broke off a long run, but it sure would have been nice to see the shutout, but I guess more importantly, you wanted to get a lot of guys into the game on defense.
Yeah, I'm a big believer. I know some people get excited about shutouts and all that, and I do, but more importantly to me is that we play our young players, or we play guys who've been out there and don't get an opportunity to play on Friday night. And when you're up 31 or 37 to nothing, if you give up a score and you win 37-6, what does it really matter? The other side of that is if you put your starters back in there to secure a shutout and you lose one, what happens then?
Right.
So I would rather have Cordero Stout standing beside me and win 37-6 than have him out there win 37-0 and have a risk of him spraining an ankle or some guy we're going to need down the stretch getting injured. So, to me, it's common sense. I don't really worry about it. I'm not a stat guy. I'm a wins and losses guy.
Right. That is the most important stat, and obviously the Red Terrors won that easily. Coach, really Bradwell didn't seem to have a whole lot of offensive punch, and I'm not here to pick on them. But one thing I noticed late in the game, I guess it was their third-string quarterback, because they do have two guys that even though we saw one primarily – the starter most of the way when they brought in their third-string guy. They did try to run a little bit that triple option, and I know Coach Hill has that Georgia Southern background, and maybe that's something he might want to do in the future with the program. I'm not sure.
I think that's probably where they're going to head down the line. I spoke with Coach Hill before the game. Really nice guy, and he's trying to build something there, and they've gone. I think they're on their third coach in 3 years or something like that.
Right.
So, that program needs stability, and obviously he's knowledgeable in that. So I think you'll probably see a little more triple option out of them moving down the line.
And, Coach, let's talk about your quarterback situation. Obviously, Zach Lampert's been the go-to guy this year, and he made some good plays again for you as well on Friday night. But you did put DJ Dallas under center, or actually in the shotgun, and he led you to a quick scoring drive. And, of course, DJ had a good all-around game, but just talk about moving him into the mix there at quarterback in that third quarter.
Well, we wanted to get him an opportunity to play because you never know what's going to happen. You can have an injury on a Friday night. I think Zach played really well. Obviously, DJ is a great athlete, and he took that one ball to the house. They're real quick when he gets out in the open. Not many people are going to run him down. So, for us, it was a good opportunity to get him out there, let him run around. We kind of wanted him to play a little more, but, he's so important for us out there on the edge. He's our best athlete out in space, out in perimeter. That's kind of one of those things. We made a decision to shut it down. We got him some reps. Let's move forward with it and get some other guys in there. You're listening to the Rocky Hidalgo Coaches Show on the Bishop Media Sports Network, and
Coach, you've been kind of looking for a backup for Garrison Hurd in the halfback rotation, and then you got a couple of guys into the game Friday night, mainly Jeremiah Anderson. He had a couple of good runs. Looked like to me, though, he was so anxious to hit that hole that sometimes he wasn't quite waiting for his offensive line to do what they were supposed to do. But nonetheless, he shows some pretty good runs there in that game.
Yeah, Jeremiah's going to be a really good player, and he's a kid. I'm really proud of him because he's come a long way this year. I think he's learning how to handle himself as a player, how to practice. One of the things that we dealt with him early in the year was, we were hard on him because he was about giving a great effort at practice, and he's really grown and improved throughout the year. And he's a guy you're going to see a lot more of as the year goes on. We're trying to spell Garrison some, and I think we found our guy in Jeremiah that'll be able to go out there and help us and give us some reps.
And then, of course, another guy I want to mention was Adrian Cross. Last week he had the big interception that kind of got you going in the second half. And this week, of course, it was later in the game when the game was already decided, but he returns the kickoff after Bradwell's only touchdown of the night, 80 yards, I think it was, for the final score of the night. And I've been waiting on him to do one of those kinds of things this year, and hopefully that's not the last. But Adrian Cross is another guy that anytime you put the ball in his hands, good things can happen.
Yeah, and Adrian has played really well the last couple of weeks, and I challenged him after the Coffee game because I don't think he played particularly well against Coffee and not up to his ability, and he's really responded. He's come back out, had his 2 best games of the year, and I think he's really starting to feel it. The thing that I really like about Adrian is I think he's kind of growing into that leadership role, a guy that kids can look to, and he's demonstrating. It's easy to kind of talk and try to be a leader, but he's really demonstrating his leadership skills by the way he's going out and practicing and playing.
Now, one other thing I wanted to ask you about that game, and it really didn't factor into the situation at all, but I'm just a stickler for these kind of things, so we're going to fill some time here by me asking you. But the running clock is supposed to be in the third quarter. If you're down 30 points, you have the option. Right. But in the fourth quarter, you were up 31-0, and as far as I know, the clock really didn't they were stopping it when plays went out of bounds and when penalties and things like that. So that I know of, we really didn't play the game under a running clock situation. The rules are still the same, right? They didn't increase it to 35 points, or certain times they're going to stop it. Or
I
you may not even have noticed.
I don't. Frankly, I'll be honest with you. The only time I would ever worry about a running clock if somebody had me on one. But I'll just be honest with you. That's something that I don't really worry about it, and I don't know. If we're beating somebody that bad and they walk over and say, "Coach, we want a running clock," sure, I'll give it to them. But that's one they'd never get out of me. We're going to finish out the night best we can.
And so as far as I know, the rules are still the same. Maybe it just didn't get executed properly. But like I say, not a big deal in the game. But Coach, every week we kind of ask you how you're looking health-wise for the next week. So how did you guys come out of that game injury-wise? Looking to go to practice tomorrow.
Yeah, well, we should be okay. I really think Troy Rogers is still kind of dealing with a nagging ankle injury. He dinked it again Friday night, but I think he's going to be ready to practice. We got a couple of guys, got some boo-boos here or there. One of our defensive tackles we lost against Richmond Hill will probably be back after the off week. But really, that's it. We're relatively healthy, thank goodness.
All right. Well, that sounds good. We're going to talk about Ware County when we come back on our next segment. But right now, these words from our sponsors.
Relax. Misty's Element Massage specializes in helping you do just that. Located at 138 Village Market on St. Simon's Island, Misty's Element Massage offers deep tissue massages, therapeutic massages, scrubs, creams, body wraps, and much more. The perfect gift for that special someone, not to mention sports massages for that aching muscle. Schedule your appointment today at 912-224-0198 or on the web at mistyselement.com.
Bruce Kennedy Tire is your hometown destination for tires. Michelin, Goodyear, and all the brands you trust. But don't let the name fool you. Bruce Kennedy Tire, located at 2928 Norwich Street, does more than just tires. Brakes, alignments, repair work, and more than I can mention. Bruce Kennedy is locally owned and operated, so you get the best service in Glynn County. So give Bruce a call at 912-264-6578. Bruce Kennedy Tire, a name you can trust. Get affordable health care when you need it. At Apple Care Immediate Care, our team of compassionate healthcare providers is dedicated to treating each patient with the highest standard in healthcare. Located at 1111 Glencoe Parkway, Apple Care is open Monday through Friday, 7:30 a.m. to 7:30 p.m., Saturday, 8:30 a.m. to 5 p.m., and Sunday, 10 a.m. to 4 p.m. Apple Care welcomes all walk-ins from pediatric to adult ages and accepts most insurance plans. Visit us at applecaredoctors.com and like us on Facebook.
Hello, Glynn Academy Red Terror fans. It's an exciting time of the year when football season starts. It's also an exciting time of the year if you are buying a home and need a great mortgage team on your side. The smart folks at Somerset Mortgage will help you lock in the best rates and closing costs, but more importantly, they have the patience and expertise you need to get you to the closing table. Call Somerset to find out more. 638-2020, conveniently located next to Outback on St. Simon's. Somerset, 638-2020.
It's time to get together with friends and family to enjoy great games, great food, and a great atmosphere at Loco's on St. Simon's Island. Loco's has something for everyone with their classic sandwiches, fresh salads, and specialty burgers. And Loco's award-winning wings, from traditional boneless or slow roasted, means it's time to get your wings on. With football season starting, don't forget to catch the game at Loco's too. Be sure to like Loco's on Facebook to keep up with the latest. Have your friends meet you at the Moose.
Welcome back to the Glynn Academy Red Terror Coaches Show with head coach Rocky Hidalgo on the Bishop Media Sports Network. I'm Kevin Price. We're on location at Loco's Grill and Pub on St. Simon's. This segment brought to you by Misty's Element Massage, Bruce Kennedy Tire, Apple Care Immediate Care, and Somerset Mortgage. And, of course, Coach, this Friday night at Glynn County Stadium, 7:30 kickoff, Ware County comes to town. And, of course, that's a game that probably all the Glynn Academy fans have had circled on their personal calendars, and hopefully a big crowd will come out and turn out for what is definitely a big ball game on the schedule. But obviously Ware County was well coached before under a good friend of yours, Ed Dudley, and they're still well coached under Franklin Stevens, one of the best teams in the state, possibly in any classification. But going to be a tough assignment for Glynn Friday night. But I know you and the guys are looking forward to it.
Yeah, it's always neat when you get an opportunity to go out and play the number one team in the state. I mean, it's going to be a great night. It's a great opportunity for our kids to go out there and compete against one of the best football teams in the state of Georgia, and we're excited by it. I mean, I like playing. I've said it before. I'll say it again. I like playing when something's on the line. I want, no risk, no reward. Let's risk something. So, it's pretty neat. We're going to have an opportunity playing for obviously a playoff slot. And if we win the game, we've got a chance to be co-champions in the region. So there's a lot at stake, a lot on the line, and obviously the most important thing is it's a big rival from somewhere and somewhere else. That's kind of what you want to do, and make sure we show up and get after them a little bit.
Well, I know you've already watched film, and we'll talk about what the Gators are doing offensively and defensively here in a moment. But I guess obviously you've probably talked to Coach Dudley a few times during the season already, just about things in general, maybe how the family's doing and whatnot. But any chance you might try to find out a few little things that maybe somebody else wouldn't be able to find out before they play Ware County, obviously with him being there in the past?
I speak with Ed almost daily. In fact, he called me just, when I was sitting here on the phone. That was him that was calling. But I think Ed really enjoyed his time in Ware County, and he cares for those kids down there. And I know he's, he'll wish me luck this week, but he's also rooting for those kids down there because I know how that is. I've gone through that, and I pick the newspaper up and check the Walton scores and hope those guys win every week, and I'm sure he does too. But Ed and I talk every day, and that's not something I really pester him about. We do talk about coaching stuff, but really about just basic, a lot of philosophy stuff. What would he do? I ask his advice on some things here and there, and we kind of stay out of the Ware County business. That's, he's got a job to run, and that's more important to him right now than anything.
All right, I definitely understand that. Well, let's talk about what Ware's doing offensively. I guess they are running the wing tee. Franklin Stevens, of course, used to be down at Camden with Jeff Herron. They ran the wing tee, still do, and so he's taken that with him in his head coaching stop since at Tucker and then also at Lamar County. So he brings it to him, brings it to Ware County as well. But they've got a stable full of running backs, and I guess in that wing tee they're spreading the ball around to all of them.
Yeah, they have a lot of guys who can run the football, and it's kind of scary. They can run 4 or 5 guys out there to tote the mail, and I think the thing that is most evident when you watch them on film is how physical they are. They're very physical. Their backs finish runs. They do a good job of sticking their foot in the ground and running north and south. So it'll be a tough task defensively. We're going to have to show up and really tackle well. We're going to have to finish. We're going to have to run our feet and finish tackles, because if you don't, these guys can break a lot of tackles.
And talk about, you've already played the wing tee when you face Camden. Does that help? This week I'm assuming they're basically doing everything that Camden does in the wing tee. I know some teams only run certain segments of the wing tee offense, but Camden kind of does it to perfection all the way around. Are they running everything that you would see in a full wing tee offense?
It's very similar to Camden's. Really is very similar to Camden's, and wing tee guys, they'll tweak things every week. So depending on what defense you run, you may get a little more down or power sweep or buck sweep. But I'm sure that Ware County is capable of kind of running anything in the wing tee playbook. I'm sure he's those wing nuts, as they call those guys who run the wing tee. If they're in for all of it. So they'll be ready to go offensively, I'm sure, and it'll be very similar to what we saw at Camden County. Hopefully we'll play a little better and fare a little better against it.
This is the Glynn Academy Coaches Show with Coach Rocky Hidalgo on the Bishop Media Sports Network. And, Coach, one of their kids is the Mills kid, and, he's one of the top players in the state, plays both ways, offensively and defensively as a running back and a linebacker. But a lot of people think he's a better linebacker than he is a running back. But I'm sure you just think he's a heck of a player regardless of what side of the football he's on.
Yeah, he's pretty special. He really is. And one of the things you notice about him is when he tackles, he runs through people. And he finished runs very well. He's a very strong kid. He made a play at 7-on-7 this summer. He jumped about 12 feet in the air and intercepted a ball. It was really impressive. Showed his athleticism. So we're going to have to do a great job, get a hat on him when we're on the offensive side of the ball. We're going to have to find him. You have to block him. And then defensively, we're really going to have to gang tackle because he's a strong kid.
And let's switch to their defense. I think Coach Stevens was a 3-5 guy. Mostly in the past. Is he still running that same setup with Ware? Well,
they've had a couple of guys injured here or there. They'll do some 3-5-3, but they'll also put 4 down, and so they're a little bit of both. Their defensive line is probably the best that we played all year. I mean, it really is. They've got some talented kids up there, and obviously Mills at middle linebacker. When you put 3 or 4 really talented defensive linemen, put their hand on the ground, you've got a great middle linebacker. You're going to be tough to deal with defensively. But they've got a lot of foot speed over there.
I was about to ask you, the name of their game is usually foot speed and being physical, so I doubt things have really changed a whole lot there.
Yeah, they'll hit anything that moves out there.
Talk about their special teams, because if you're getting a good, tight game where you want to be, obviously we know you're pretty solid on special teams, and you can flip the field and possibly reach for a field goal or something like that if you need to. But how do they do on special teams?
Well, I think I'm hoping we have an advantage there. We've been punting the ball really well lately and doing a nice job in our kick coverage. They're very similar to us in a lot of the things that they do. You'll see them kind of getting the shield punt, and their punter's a solid high school punter, and they'll kind of squib kick and pooch the ball around when they kick off. So a lot of the stuff that you see us do, they'll kind of mirror a lot of those things. Obviously, very well coached in special teams. Their kids play hard over there. That's the first thing I noticed.
And obviously, I know you're focused on Ware County this week, as you should be. But when you look at this region, just kind of looking at what you have to face after this week, one team that all of a sudden scares me a little bit now is South Effingham. They had Brunswick almost to the point of defeat and led them 8-7 late in the fourth quarter. And Brunswick comes back and gets the job done. But all of a sudden, South Effingham kind of scares me a little bit, but you're probably going to say you're worried about everybody. But I just didn't know that maybe they're pretty decent.
I don't even know when we play South Effingham.
Last game of the season.
I don't know. That's the truth. I mean, I pick the schedule up every week and see who's next, and then check when the buses are supposed to come. That's pretty much how I do it. Yeah, but I check the scores obviously, and they've had some pretty decent football teams in the past, so I'm sure it'll be a tough game when we get to those guys. And I just want to go play Ware County, get ready, and let's get after Ware County this week, and we'll worry about whoever shows up to play next time.
Well, let's send a message to the fans. Anything you want to say to them to hopefully possibly get them out there Friday night? Because obviously the 12th man could possibly be huge in a big game at home.
And people need to come out and support our kids. I mean, our kids are working hard. They represent our school. They represent the community. They work their tails off, and I really believe we're building something that has a chance to be special here. But that it'll only get there if people buy in and support it. And like anything else, I mean, people need to get behind our football program. And there's no downside to taking pride in something. And the community of Brunswick here, you've got two really good football programs here, and it's not just Glynn Academy. People need to go out and watch the Brunswick Pirates because Coach Floyd does a good job. They've got a good football team. They're going to get in the playoffs and win some football games, and people need to recognize how good high school football is around here.
All right. Well, Coach, I sure appreciate it. Thanks for being here as always, and go coach up the guys this week, and hopefully we'll be sitting here talking about a big win over Ware County next Sunday.
Will do. Thanks, guys.
All right. Thanks, everyone, for joining us. This has been the Glynn Academy Coaches Show with head coach Rocky Hidalgo on the Bishop Media Sports Network. We'll be here each and every Sunday at Locos on St. Simon's at 6:30 for the Coach Hidalgo Show. I'm Kevin Price, signing off.
Next week, I just realized something. I'm not going to be here next week.
Okay.
So, yeah, if you'll tell
We'll
Jason,
figure something out.
Yeah, I'll have one of my other coaches come do it. I mean, do y'all need to y'all want to shoot it Saturday? We can shoot it.
Oh, I need to do